potential is dying. Write that down. Time is progressing, but potential is dying. What do I mean? Every year we're getting older. Every year we're ticking up in age, but so many people are not growing. They're the exact same person they were the year before and the year before that. And one of the greatest decisions you can ever make is to become the best or greatest expression of who you were created to be. And in order to become that, you have to grow. And what we don't understand is that growth happens from the inside. Write that down. Growth happens from the inside. So a lot of times we're waiting for this external force to show up in our lives, not realizing that it happens from within. And the more you neglect your inner world, the more your outer world is going to suffer. And so we think if we get another degree, we get another designer outfit, we get another luxury car, we get a bigger house or a promotion, that those things are going to bring this greater sense of satisfaction to our lives, when all along we are broken on the inside, and nothing we build on the outside is going to be suffice for a broken soul. Let me say it again. Nothing that we build or create on the outside is going to be suffice for a broken soul. And so what I have done, I have spent 10 times more energy and effort on my inner life than I do my outer life. In this world of influencers and social media, we live so much of our lives for the applause of men. We live so much of our lives for the attention of other people because we're really starving for an authentic life. And we don't realize that an authentic life requires us to go within ourselves and to explore those places within ourselves that we don't often like to visit. And so until you do that inner work, you can do all of this stuff on the outside, but it's not going to produce the life of wholeness, peace, success, and prosperity that you desire. This is a year that we must detach from everything that is robbing us of new dimensions in life. Detach from everything that is robbing you of the next dimension in your life. And, there'll be some people that will say, there's not anything robbing me. Well, if there's nothing robbing you, why are you not further? Why are you still frustrated and not experiencing the progress and the growth and the momentum that you want to see in your life? At some point, we have to really be honest with ourselves, and we have to realize that there are things that we have allowed to attach to our lives that are adversarial to the advancement of our lives. And so this is a year that you got to really begin to get rid of the clutter, of the debris, and everything that is standing between you and the next dimension in your life. A new cycle with old behavior will only produce frustration. And that's why so many people that I talk with, they're so frustrated about their lives because, like I said, time is moving, but potential is dying. And more so than that, we have the same behaviors. Nothing is changing. We're the exact same person year after year after year, and we're not experiencing the growth and the evolution that should be taking place in our lives. And so you have to become intentional about doing the work. What I always say is that when we want something bad enough in our lives, we'll go after it with everything on the inside of us. But the problem is that we will fight for everything but ourselves. A lot of people are not willing to fight for themselves. They're not willing to fight for their dreams because they don't believe that they're worthy or deserving of it. And so they don't believe they're deserving of it because they have an identity crisis and they're broken on the inside. And they keep buying things and doing things to try to fill a gaping hole that those things will never fill. And at some point, you have to stop and you have to have an honest conversation with yourself, and you have to be willing to do the work so that you can produce the life that you want to produce. I don't have time to stay there. There are some things that you must be willing to release to reclaim the moments of your life. Let me say that again. There are some things that you must be willing to release to reclaim the moments of your life. I don't know what that may be for you, but whatever that thing is, I want this to be the year that you begin to release that thing from your heart. I want you to spend some time this weekend journaling and writing about what it is that you need to release from your life. Maybe it is a toxic mindset. Maybe it is a negative emotion. Maybe it is a destructive behavior or a pattern that needs to be interrupted in your life. Maybe it's a toxic relationship that you need to sever from your life. Whatever those things are, this is the year that you need to begin to remove those things from your life so that you can embrace the next level and who you were created to be. So I want you to realize that your resolutions are absolutely meaningless without a renewed mind. Let me say that again. Your resolutions are absolutely meaningless without a renewed mind. And so all these people are setting resolutions. I don't set them, and I haven't set them. I have a very clear vision. I have my goals for the year, and I've been doing this for a long time. And I'm telling you, if you would change this from resolutions and start renewing your mind, getting a clear vision and path for your life, it will make all the difference in your success and prosperity. Your triumph or defeat in 2023 will be the result of your thinking. Let me say that again. Your triumph or defeat in 2023 will be the result of your thinking. And what I always tell people is that if your thoughts have brought you here, you are always one thought away from a different life. And what different thought are you going to think that's going to produce a different outcome for you in 2023? I don't want to get started on the mind because, that's like my favorite thing to talk about. But the reality is that so many people are in a psychological prison, and they will tell you that they're not, but I can listen to the internal conversation that they're having with themselves and the conversation they're having with others, and it lets me know that they're in bondage. Bondage has a language just like freedom has a language, and when I hear certain individuals talk, I hear the language of a person that is in captivity. They are framing their lives not only in prophetic limitations, but they are framing their lives in the language of someone that is oppressed. Somebody that is weighed down and bogged down and has not reached a place of freedom in their lives. And so if this year is going to be different, you cannot neglect your mind. One of the things I always tell people, we've all heard the commercial that a mind is a terrible thing to waste. But even more so than that, I always say that the mind is a terrible thing to neglect. It's one thing to waste your mind. It's a whole nother dynamic to neglect the mind. And the mind is one of the most neglected things in the lives of most people. We will consume our minds with trash on social media, garbage television shows, a bunch of superficiality, but we will not invest the time and the energy and develop our thinking to produce the outcomes that we want to produce. A lot of people want to talk about my life and how do you do this, how have you written all of these books, and how have you been able to do all of these different things in your life. And the reality is I have spent a lot of time developing my mind and cultivating my thoughts so that I can produce the success and prosperity that I wanted to see in my life. And so many people are not willing to invest that time and energy to get them to the next level and to see the breakthroughs that they desire. What I've discovered is that your thoughts create your prison, or they serve as the catalyst for the possibilities of your life. You have to stop tolerating thoughts that threaten the transformation of your life. Let me say that again. You have to stop tolerating thoughts that threaten the transformation of your life. You have to stop accommodating things that do not advance your life. And that sounds good, and we shake our heads and we say, you're absolutely right, but we continue to accommodate the very things in our lives that prevent our advancement. And so I really want us to make a conscious effort and decision this year that we are not going to allow negative and toxic thinking to rob us of what we want to see. I know in my own life, I can't speak for other people, but in my life, my thinking was one of the greatest obstacles to my success. And a lot of times we want to blame people, we want to blame systems, we want to blame institutions, but the reality is that nothing can hold you captive without your permission. And so many people are enslaved in the mental arena. They have not won the battle in the mental arena, and you have got to begin to address those thought patterns and processes that hold you down and keep you from living the life that you were intended to live.